For the most part, debt settlement companies are scams. It doesn't matter if you hear about them on TV, the radio, or read about them on the internet. Almost all of them are designed to do one thing: separate you from your money. The typical debt settlement company will tell you to do the following. They'll suggest that you quit paying your credit card bills, your medical bills, etc. Instead, they will ask you to send them money every month for 2 years or more. They'll tell you that once enough has been saved, they will settle your debts at 50 cents on the dollar or less. Now, it really sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, here's why it doesn't work. First, if the creditor does not close your account when you quit paying on the account, your interest rate will be increased to the universal default rate. Currently, the universal default rate is 32.9%. If you don't make a payment for 2 years, with the late fees, the over-limit fees, and the balance compounded at the universal default rate, your credit card balance will double. As an example, let's say that you owe Citibank $5,000 today. Let's further assume that Citibank doesn't sue you for 2 years, which is probably unlikely. The debt settlement company approaches Citibank about settlement 2 years from now. Well, Citibank may very well consider a settlement for 50 cents on the dollar, but they will settle from the current balance, which is ballooned to $10,000. They will settle for $5,000, which was what you owe now, what you owe 2 years from the time you're anticipating a settlement. You have gained nothing, and the worst is yet to come. If you accepted this deal and paid Citibank $5,000, you'll have to pay income tax on the $5,000 that Citibank forgave. That's right. If a creditor forgives more than $600, the IRS requires that the bank send out a tax document called a 1099-C, which effectively adds the forgiven debt to your taxable income. The debt settlement people know that it's very likely that you will be sued before you've saved enough to settle your debts. That is why they're focused on getting their money first. That is why they front load their fees. And their fees, well, their fees are very high. Typically, debt settlement companies charge between 10 and 15% of your total debt. So if you owe $40,000, the fee will be as much as $6,000. In the above example, the first $6,000 you pay is theirs. It is their non-refundable fee, even if you drop out of their program. Federal regulations enacted in October of 2011 require some debt settlement companies to settle at least one debt before they receive their fee. To comply with this regulation, honest settlement companies will settle the smallest debt you have before taking their money. That's all they have to do. There are situations where a debt settlement is the best option. In my experience, it's not the best option very often, though. If you insist on trying to settle your debts, do not use a debt settlement company. We can refer you to a legitimate settlement group who will charge you a low flat fee for each debt they settle. They do more than negotiate the amount. They also negotiate how the settlement will be reflected on your credit report. The settlement is documented with a written agreement before you send the creditor a dime. This agreement will protect you from the debt being transferred to other companies who may not recognize the settlement and demand payment all over again. Or try to settle the debts yourself. But if you go down that route, make sure that you get the terms in writing before you give the creditor any money at all.